Hi, I would like to share with you the scriptures from Book of Numbers, chapter 19. I'm going to be reading the entire chapter, so starting with verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord has commanded, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring you a red heifer without spot, wherein is no blemish, and upon which never came yoke. And you shall give her unto Eleazar the priest, that he may bring her forth without the camp. And one shall slay her before his face. And Eleazar the priest shall take of her blood with his finger, and sprinkle of her blood directly before the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times. One shall burn the heifer in his sight, her skin, her flesh, and her blood, with her dung shall he burn. And the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet, and cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in water. And afterward he shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until the even. And he that burns her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until the even. And the man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and lay them up without the camp in a clean place. And it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel. For water separation is a purification for sin. And he that gathers the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. And it shall be unto the children of Israel, and unto the stranger that sojourns among them, for a statute forever. He that touches the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days, and he shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself on the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Whosoever touches the dead body of any man that is dead, and purifies not himself, defiles the tabernacle of the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel. Because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him, he shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him. This is the law, that when a man dies in a tent, that all that come into the tent, and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days, and every open vessel which has no covering bound upon is unclean. Whosoever touches one that is slain with sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. And for an unclean person they shall take the ashes of the burnt heifer, a purification for sin, and running water shall be put thereinto in the vessel. And a clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the persons that were there, and upon him that touched a bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at even. But the man that shall be unclean, and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he has defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water separation has not been sprinkled upon him, he is unclean. And it shall be a perpetual statute unto them, and he that sprinkles the water of separation shall wash his clothes, and he that touches the water of separation shall be unclean until even. And whatsoever the unclean person touches shall be unclean, and the soul that touches it shall be unclean until even. Now, these scriptures right there are talking about red heifer, which is basically an uncommon species of cows that they're born among cattle. I mean, just that you have a red heifer that I mean that there's no blemish, and there's no that the yoke has never been put on them. They're to be given to the high priest, and were to be brought forth outside the camp, and shall be slain. And the high priest shall take her blood with his finger, sprinkle her blood directly before the tabernacle and congregation 7 times. One shall burn the heifer in a priest's sight. Her skin, her flesh, and her blood, her dung shall be burnt. And the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet, and cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer. And the priest shall wash his clothes, and shall bathe his flesh in water. And And afterwards shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until evening. And he that burns her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until evening. And the man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and lay them up outside the camp in a clean place, and it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel for water separation. This purification for sin. This yeah, the ashes of the red heifer are to be kept for this water purification, this to be sprinkled on those who are unclean by reason of touching a dead body or a grave site. And it, Book of Hebrews touched upon it briefly. We go to go to Hebrews chapter 9 verses 19 verses 13 to 14. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and of the ashes of a heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctifies to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. Now, recently there's news that there's a red heifer that's been born and raised, and people are saying this is a prophecy leading up to the establishment of the third temple that's going to be built. That the Antichrist is going to defile. I already asked ChatGPT about this question. Where does the Bible even mention prophecy about a red heifer? And this is his answer. Prophecy about a red heifer comes in Numbers 19, where God commands the Israelites to sacrifice a red heifer without blemish and uses ashes for purification. However, there is no direct prophecy in the Bible that explicitly states a red heifer must appear in the end times. The idea of a prophetic red heifer comes from interpretations of Jewish tradition and eschatology. Some believe that the appearance of a flawless red heifer is a sign that the third temple in Jerusalem will be rebuilt. Excuse me. Based on passages like Daniel 9:27, Matthew 24:15, and 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4, which discuss the temple and end time events. Let's go to each of those scriptures. Go to Daniel 9:27, which says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even unto the consummation, and that determined shall be poured out upon the desolate. Now Matthew 24:15 is the next scripture reference, and I'm going to read 15 and 22. When ye therefore see the abomination and desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoso reads, let him understand. Then let them which are in Judea flee into mountains. Let him that is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight will not be in the winter, neither on a Sabbath day, for then there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall there be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh that would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And the next bit of scripture reference is 2 Thessalonians 3. 2 Thessalonians 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And which says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin and be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." I mean, this belief is popular in some Christian circles, but the Bible itself does not say that a red heifer will play a role in the last days. Instead, it is derived from later interpretations of Old Testament purification laws mixed with end time speculation, and that's pretty much where I'm going to leave you with this bit of information. So have a good day, and may God bless you.